Hey, Hickok45 here. I've got a couple of beauties today that I want to compare, kind of look at some of the similarities, some of the differences. A couple of really nice high-power rifles. 308, 7.62 by 51. Got the SOCOM16 M1A from Springfield. This is out of a more current version of the M14 M1A series in a more handier package. And you've seen this in action. Really sweet piece of hardware. It's basically what a 75, 80-year-old design that this comes from, and with a few modern upgrades there. But that's basically what you're looking at. And then we have the SCAR 17S, the semi-automatic version of the military battle rifle that's being used by some folks in the military special operations group. And it is kind of the other end of the continuum there. It's a fairly new offering, and it's in that same powerful round, 7.62 by 51. Both are approximately the same length. They're similar in a lot of ways. So let's look at that. But first, let's take a couple shots. How's that? I'm going to grab one of them and shoot the thing. Oh, just a couple of shots. I can't resist. Oh, what about a 2-liter? And a red plate, maybe? Yes. Oh, that's good. That's all. I just need a couple of shots. Couldn't resist. Bye-bye. Couldn't resist. All right. And let's shoot this baby. Oh, yeah, nice. Safety off. Another 2-liter. Oops. We didn't pick up a round, did we? We will this time. And let's see, maybe we can hit the red plate with it. Sure did. Safety back on. Let's pull that mag out. Check that round. Clear. All right. Nice. Nice. Let's lock that bolt back. While we're at it. All right. I said that with one hand. Okay. So I just couldn't resist that hard-hitting round. Nice, nice. Okay, so yeah, they're similar in a lot of ways. You know, we're talking about a length here that's not all that different, and that's part of the objective here. Now this one is easier to adjust the length. We have a little adjustment here. We can make it maybe even a little shorter, about the same, a little shorter, or we can stretch it out a little bit. So you've got that flexibility with that one. But we're still talking about something in this ballpark that fires that really powerful 308 round, 7.62 by 51. In a fairly small gun package. Both magazines hold 20 rounds. Okay, there are other magazines available, but standard magazine capacity is 20 rounds. So we're talking the same round, basically the same round count, and again, with this baby, we're talking vintage. 75, 80 years ago, the M14, the Garand, it's kind of the grandfather of this gun, and with some minor changes, but still, that's kind of the technology we're dealing with there in the bolt and the way it operates. Not a lot of changes there. Still very effective and reliable. Still in use today, today's military. That's the neat thing about this. Both of these firearms are in use in various places and in hands of various soldiers today as I speak. Okay, now the SOCOM16 specifically, I'm not sure where exactly. I know that the M14 is still in use though, same technology, and of course the SCAR. Let's see how they're built. You see if we've come anywhere in all these years, if we've made any progress. And I'm going to just try to do this fairly quickly. And gosh, I haven't broken down let's see, we're clear. One of these in a long time, and I'm going to. It's better to have it cocked. Safety on. Turn me over. Yeah, pull the trigger guard out, or trigger group. There it is. I broke it. Let's see how hard it is on this one. If we can get all that out. First, let's double check it. She's back. Okay. Pull this pin. Push forward. Well, I'll be darned. We got the trigger group out of that one, don't we? By the way, this is mine too. These are both mine. And what else? Well, let's just take the stock off. See if that can be done. Okay, not too hard. Let's see if we can take the stock off of this one. Oh, that was hard too, wasn't it? And what else should we go? I'm not going to get into the gas system, I guess, but this one is still kind of stiff. I'm going to cheat. Now my other M1A, I don't even have to do this. But yeah, pin across. Maybe I don't on this one either. It's just my imagination. Left the main spring there. Recoil rod spring. Okay, works the bolt. There's no spring now. Interesting. You see how that works. All right, now I'm not going to take that operating rod off and that bolt out. That is a little bit tricky for me. It really is, and I believe it's advised not to do it that often unless you really have to. Okay, I just normally don't do that. I clean it without taking it off. Generally, I have taken it out, but I've also had some tedious moments putting it back in. I will admit. Okay, and then there's your gas piston up there. You unscrew this, and I use one of these because I try to keep it tight. And when I'm out prowling around the woods with one of these, I sometimes will put one of these in my pocket just to keep that tight. So the gas plug, you unscrew it, and you dump the gas piston out of there and clean it and all that, and put it back in, and that's how you clean. Of course, you know how these things work. You got gas, a port in the barrel that comes down into here, and that's what forces your guide right back and your bolt and picks up another round. Okay, so that's how that one works. What about this one? How hard is it? Let's see. Well, this is a newer design. You'd think they would have learned a few new tricks, wouldn't you? Oh, look at that. The bolt handle comes right out of there. The coil spring. The bolt, the carrier, and the bolt. Pretty cool. That looks like the back of the firing pin. Looks to me like if we take this out, you can even pull the firing pin out. I'll be darned. And then pull this out, and you got the bolt out. A little bit easier than this one. Now, there's probably some old Marines that will tell you that, hey, I could have had that operating rod and that bolt out of there and that bolt apart in about 3 seconds, and they might have. But it's a little more problematic for me, I will admit. Okay, so this one is quite a nice design, I will have to say. It is so easy to take apart and clean. I really like the way that I designed this. I was instrumental in this, you know. You believe that? No, you know better than that, don't you? Okay, and then the gas plug up here, same location, more or less. You just turn that over, totally over this way, pull that out, and then you need like a 22 caliber cleaning rod. I use a little brass. I've got this perfect little brass rod that I bought for my well, for something else, but it's very small. It's like a 17 or 15 caliber equivalent, and it's brass. It's just perfect. And I just run it up there and just push the piston out. I've done that several times on the one I borrowed and on this one, and just push it out and clean the piston, put it back in, dry it up, and put it back in. So it works beautifully. So let's put the carrier back in. Got everything in there right? Cross pin. So I will have to give this one the thumbs up on being easier to take apart and clean. I just will. Again, some crusty old Marine might disagree, but I'll tell you what, this thing is really sweet the way it works. Okay, let's put the handle back, stock back on. We might need that. That was tough, wasn't it? Almost looks like a toy or something, doesn't it? And pin back in. We're ready to go again. Okay. Didn't even forget to put the bolt handle. Remember, you can reverse the bolt handle, put it on either side if you want to. All right, now this one, I have no idea how to put it back together. All right, let's put the spring back in here. And it's not so hard. I mean, people did this, learned to do this in the military, blindfolded and everything else, you know, in the dark. So I'm sure I could too. I just have not mastered that. And bring it back on the stock. Down there, turn it over, the trigger group back in. Make sure you get the trigger pointed the right way. Correct. Locking down, and we're ready to go. Safety on. Okay. So now that might have looked fairly simple, but again, I did not take the operating rod and the bolt out, and that is a little bigger deal. Okay, if I'd done that, bigger deal, especially for me. All right. All right, just want to give you an idea how they're made, how they're put together, some of the differences. Like I said, this one weighs, based on, I didn't weigh them, but based on the websites and the companies, this one is just under 8 pounds. This one is over 8. I think it's about 8.5, 8 3/4 pounds. So maybe 3/4 of a pound more to a pound more than the Scar. So you got a little bit heavier. Okay. You have a reliable system. It's been reliable for a lot of years. And I think in terms of sights, I like the sights on this one better. A thinner sight picture, but of course sights can be changed. You got your flip up sights on this gun, and you've got your standard kind of rear M1 sights right here. Then you got kind of a thick affair on the front. Does have a tritium insert, but it's rather thick. Of course, this is upgraded. You got rails there, so you can turn that into a kind of a scout rifle if you want to. And you got rails all around on that gun, so a lot of versatility there. Both have your polymer stocks. Both of them have sweat on them for some reason. I think it's because it's 90 and a humidity level of about 190 today. But so both are interesting guns and both shoot well. Both shoot a great cartridge. Let's take a couple more shots. You know what? We have a little gift for each one of them. We have a watermelon for each little friend here. We thought we'd help them out. Now, one difference is the way the magazines insert too. In the old M1A or M14, you, the front end first, hook it on that little knob up there, and pull it back. Those go in just like an AR-15, straight up. All right. Okay, this is going to be a tough shot, but we can do it. Oh, was that sweet or what? That was nice. Oh, you know, we have 1 2-liter left, and I don't know who to reserve it for. Let's let the old guy use it here. The old M4 or M1A. He deserves it. He deserves it. Let's put one on a red plate. Let's put one over the red plate. That one is on the red plate. Okay, whew, you can't go wrong. Pretty nice little piece. They both have a lot of blast, you know. Now that's hot. I'm gonna lay it there. Safety's on. All right, let's load this guy again. Let him have his watermelon fun. Okay. I wonder if a 308 is as powerful out of this gun as it is that gun. I'm about to hit our sidewalk down there. That one must have had a split in it already or something. There we go. Don't think there's that much difference. I was actually joking. The same round. All right, let's hit the plate a couple times. Nice. This one has more blast. That muzzle brake, woo, may have less recoil for that reason, but it definitely does. Now, that one's hot as well. Safety on. A couple of things. You know, the safety on the M1, you have this little affair. When it's pulled inward into the trigger guard, it's on safe. So some people like that, some people don't. In order to take the safety off, I've got to put my finger in there by the trigger and push forward. Push back like that. You know, some would argue that's not a safety. That's the way that works. On the Scar, you have the traditional, at least the traditional AR style. See, it's on safe. Right there, the thumb. Up for fire, down for safe. Like that. Okay. So that's very convenient. I like the bolt operation on this. It's very convenient. More convenient than the old M1A, I have to say. This is a little bit more like an AK or something. You got to get your hand up there and grab it unless you come around like that. So the traditional method there. All right. Now, one other thing I would look at is thought I would take some shots and see if you can tell anything, and see if I can tell anything in terms of how they recoil, shooting the same ammo, and despite the one watermelon not cooperating as well. And we'll see if we can tell. I'll just shoot into the barrel. I'm not going to focus on trying to hit anything. I'm just going to shoot several rounds fairly quickly, and I don't know, see what you can tell from blast. And I'm not going to try to grab one harder or more firmly than the other one. I'll just rest against my shoulder firmly and shoot. Okay, and I'll get my foot back so I'm not falling. Okay, let's get the other one. The scar, while it's fresh on your mind. Okay, what'd you think? I don't hear you. Okay, you have an opinion about that? Well, you know, this one kind of slipped off my shoulder a little bit. This has a little bit of a texture there. But my impression is, since I was the one holding the firearms, I do get a legitimate opportunity to say what I think, right? The scar seemed like a lower caliber. It really does. I could tell. And it's loud, has quite a blast, but shooting them that way, I could tell a difference. I mean, a significant difference. I really could. It was just significant. And I don't know if you see that, if it comes through in the video or not, but I could really feel a difference. That thing is almost like shooting a .223. Amazing, amazing. So my estimation is we have come a long way, and we have improved the firearms, battle rifles, whatever we want to call them, for this really wonderful cartridge. And not that this baby doesn't work, but that is pretty nice. So who wins? You know, this isn't a big, you know, who wins kind of video necessarily. Just I lean towards this one as far as if I had to go to battle tomorrow. But either one would get the job done. You just can't argue with some of the features that gun has, and I love those flip-up sights. But this whole thing works, and it has worked for a lot of years. And if you know what you're doing and you know how to maintain it, and you are able to take it apart when you need to, maybe better and more quickly than I can, you've got a nice piece of hardware, quite a rifle. This cartridge demands a lot from a rifle. There's a lot of power in that 7.62 by 51. You can't just put that in any old rifle and expect it to hold up. So a lot of engineering had to go into both of these. And to make this gun that light and recoil that softly took a lot of thinking. Someone done a lot of thinking, didn't they? They really did. I'm impressed. Love the way that one comes apart in the bolt. So easy to clean. I mean, you know, just can't stop bragging on that thing. So anyway, just a little look at those two guns and kind of how they stack up right now. You may be looking at one or the other. Another major consideration is this one does run about another $1,000, you know, or more than this one. So that's something to think about. And of course, this one does come in a different length. It comes in a Scout. It's, I think, got a little bit longer barrel, or the full length M1A. Lots of different variations of that. But yeah, this one does involve more money. They're both involving a lot of money if you shoot them very much. Expensive ammunition, no doubt about it. But anyway, hope you enjoyed that little look at these two fine rifles. Really fine rifles. Life is good.